How you doing, buddy? How you doing, Jeff?
Sorry, my buddy. I'm doing good. I'm up here in old Canada. If you couldn't tell,
Yeah.
we've got artwork with fucking feathers and birch trees and a
Eh,
photo of Banff behind me.
yeah, so
So
if things sound a little bit different or look a little bit different, that is why we are doing this extremely
yes.
remote and extremely kind of on the off the cuff here, I suppose. But welcome to Diggity. We are a part of Spawn Camp Network, which includes all of your nerdy and sometimes not nerdy topics and podcasts. And we have a cool Discord that you should join and be a part of our community. As you can tell, I don't typically do the intro, so I'm just here. But if this is your first time listening to us, we go live every Thursday night at roughly 9 o'clock, give or take, given how awesome
Circumstances?
technology is.
Yes.
And we upload the audio bright and early on a Friday at 5 a.m. so you can listen to it on
Yeah,
your
it's like
daily
five,
commute
five
in.
thirty. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in that ballpark. So thank you for joining us. And with that, what have you been playing, Jeff?
Oh my God, dude. All right, so I jumped a little bit into Overwatch, and God, does it ever disappoint me and bring depression? But I also still play it.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see what I put some F1 22 as well. But I'm really curious to see like with this going free to play, what they're going to like fully change in terms of queuing, not by time, but with a certain people. We're not getting not to sound shitty, but like getting paired up with people is pretty rough. Like getting paired up with people that are going to take you to a win is extremely rough
Yeah.
in Overwatch, and it just makes things so fucking annoying.
I agree. I think as it stands right now, that game is in a pretty rough spot. I don't think. I mean, with the matchmaking, it's just kind of a nightmare. And then on top of that,
That's
I.
right.
I feel like a lot of people fell off of it, and a lot of people are pretty unimpressed with Overwatch 2, given the state of it right now, where it's pretty much Overwatch, and I think that's kind of a bad thing for that franchise as a whole right now, and it'll be interesting to see kind of how they change that view, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you're going to get an influx of people into it. I personally feel I could be just going crazy, but I feel like um, lobbying, like I said, the quality of people in the game. I think there's a lot of new players trying the game out because they know it's going to go, or a version of it, rather, it's going to go free to play. But I don't know. Me and Eric were chatting the other night. Actually, me and Eric have chatted a couple times every time we jumped in there and been like, what are they going to do with the coins? Like, how's that all going to work? How are skins going to work?
Yeah.
Because, like, for example, this latest update that they just put out, there's like a Mercy skin, and that Mercy skin you have to use Overwatch League points, which are separate currency that you
Right.
purchase within the store, or you obtain in some cases by watching, uh, you know, live streams. In
Mm-hmm.
some very rare cases,
And
um,
and they've also said that they're not doing loot boxes in Overwatch 2, right? They did away with loot boxes. So you're probably going to have to buy everything with
I
currency.
yeah, but my question is kind of like what's the monetary value of a skin? Because there's like eight different price levels for skins and shit like that already.
I
And
imagine
I
you're
think it's already too. I think it's already too hard
I
to get
think
skins in some ways.
yeah, I agree. I think you're going to have your two main forms of currency still, right? Like your Overwatch or your Overwatch League coins and then your
100%.
tokens as well. And so I think you're just going to be able to buy token packs, and it's going to be a thing like Fortnite with V-Bucks, where you can buy, this many V-Bucks, and of course it's not how much you actually need in order to purchase a skin, and
Yep.
and so
Yep.
you're gonna
Oh
have to
yeah.
bounce around like that. I mean, just given the history of how we have seen microtransactions go, yeah, we aren't gonna have loot boxes anymore. But I think I think they're just gonna be like fucking $20 skins, or you can earn some currency in game still, I hope. But I would not doubt to see it go
Yeah.
more the battle pass route even.
No, it's gonna be interesting how they rock and roll with it. I feel like the best way to do it is the battle pass, but then also at the same time, they don't really have that many. Well, I guess they do. I don't know. I like when I look at like Rocket League, right?
Hmm.
Or even COD with their battle pass, like there's at least shit in there that, and maybe they'll come up with this, that when you unlock that item, like it is immediately like usable in some function. So like example, a keychain on a gun, right? Okay, boom, unlocked it in my battle pass, can immediately go use it. A banner for my name tag. Okay, cool, can immediately go use it. With Overwatch, it's just kind of like here's a spray, here's a voice line. I don't think those two things are going to be very good in a battle pass model. And then here's like the skin or something like that at the very end of the battle pass, which is fine. But like they better have like name tag designs or something like that. Like it'd be cool if they did have like, I don't know, something that could, like a sound or something that could go every time you get a kill, or like on the kill cam, something like that. I just don't, between like, I think the only thing that's available that's really like I really want that, and I can, it's going to draw engagement to continue moving on and going on, is going to be like skins and name tag faceplate stuff. Because like I'll be dead honest with you, if I sit there and they do a battle pass and it's like voice lines and sprays,
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Nobody uses that shit. Everyone uses that shit while they're sitting there waiting for 30 seconds in the
At the
in
beginning of each
for the
game, yeah.
for the fucking door to open. And then after that, you're not using it. And the only other people who are using it are like pros for, when they're sniping and they want to put a quick spray down somewhere where they've, last bit. Other than that, nobody uses that shit, or where they like kill the target or whatever.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. I still think it's going to do bonkers, and I think in general fashion, none of my information is going to carry over to the other game.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean,
Um,
even once they added cross like progression kind of, you lost all your skins. It was the stupidest thing. I don't
yeah,
understand.
I
Like
know.
that sucked. I would have loved to have been able to keep all of my skins,
Oh, it's
but
freaking terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
yeah.
But what have you been playing? It's a
I've
very
been
long. What have I been playing?
no, you're good. So I've been playing the new Hot Wheels expansion for Forza Horizon 5.
Nice.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I've gotten a decent amount of time in it, not anything too crazy, but definitely kind of got a good start on it, and definitely I'll be putting more time in it over the next few days and over the weekend and stuff. And before that, I was in Nashville actually over the weekend, so I
How
didn't.
was Smashville?
It was good. It was good. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
really my thing personally. It's like
I
country
was gonna say you're not a big
western.
fan of country music.
No, yeah, and some of the bars are like that country thing, and then the other bars are more of like a DJ. Let's go dance, and
Like
I'm like,
rock
yeah,
too.
that's
Yeah.
not me. So
Both
the
those things aren't you, yeah.
yeah, I enjoyed the live music because they didn't just play country music; they played a lot of stuff all over the board, and it was
Oh
fun.
yeah, they play like yacht rock and all that kind of shit.
Yeah,
It's pretty
yeah. I
dope.
mean, anything you've ever heard in a bar at some point in time that everyone sings and knows, they played it.
And
So
it's actually high quality music too, like
yeah,
high quality bands.
extremely talented people for sure. So no, it was cool. We had a good time down there. But I could not connect to the Wi-Fi on my Switch, so that was cool. So I actually was playing a little bit of Xenoblade Chronicles, the definitive edition, and it was I didn't play a ton. I mean, I played a little bit in the morning while I was waiting for Amber to get or to finish getting ready or something like that, but nothing too crazy or over the top.
Mhm.
So really, that's about it. I didn't play a whole lot this week.
Yeah, I haven't dove into crazy shit this week either.
Yeah.
Cool.
So our first news piece here, which is actually kind of interesting, and we'll kind of get into that here in a minute. But Discord voice chat is coming to Xbox consoles. Currently, it is
Yeah.
available for Xbox insiders only, but will eventually get rolled out to everyone. And this will be pretty much just like the integration of Discord on your PC. If you're playing a game while the game's up, you can see over in the corner who's talking, and you can also adjust volumes and things through basically an onboard Discord app that can essentially replace what the Xbox Party Chat is now, and you can also switch back and forth between them pretty seamlessly, or supposedly. I haven't tried it yet, but I am very curious to see how well this works, and especially because we have our Discord community, and there's pretty much always people in there, and so I'm
Oh
interested
God.
to sit down and play some Xbox. Some of the games that I have on Xbox versus what I have on PC, and
And also chat with people.
still chat with people, because that's one of the things that why I got
Yeah, it'd be
into
nice.
the PC gaming again, is just for that fact of
Hmm.
being able to talk to all of our friends and stuff that live elsewhere and don't really play on Xbox. So I've been wanting this forever, and I thought a while back when PlayStation announced their partnership with Discord that they were going to do this, and all they did was implement something where you can now see what your friends on PlayStation are playing. It's goofy.
Speaking speaking of Discord,
Yes.
in the show notes below, and on past episodes as well as in the podcast show notes on the audio version of the podcast, you will have a link to be able to join our Discord, which is free.
Yeah.
We do not charge for people to join the Spawn Camp Discord. Great place. It's growing each week, and there are some really kick-ass channels in there. Like I've got an F1 channel in there. They started up a little bit ago, and we're kind of nerding out in there. There's a music channel. There's obviously video games. There's artwork, awesome, cool stuff, general chat, stuff like that. People get in there and on a daily basis and kind of just hang out in the Discord, and it's really cool. So it's a great place to be, and yeah, join, please do. But yeah, to some statements on kind of this, I'm both surprised, but also at the same time, I do see the benefits in it.
Mm-hmm.
I am surprised that like I never thought that Xbox voice chat was bad.
No, it's
And I
it's
never thought
relatively
that it was.
competent.
Yeah, and I never thought that it was bad from connecting from a PC perspective. I think just the whole point of this is just that people would rather use Discord in general, right? To
Mm-hmm.
just unify everything, so it's kind of like just get it moving, get it going.
Well,
Which this is obviously PlayStation doesn't do this right now, right? It just simply
correct,
shows what you're playing, correct?
correct. Which is
Okay.
the stupidest integration of Discord into PlayStation I've ever seen.
I'm assuming you're eventually going to have voice chat.
I would
But
think so, but it was just bizarre. Like they had this
it
whole
was.
blog post about it, and then all they did
Yeah.
was they're like, "Hey, you can see what your PlayStation friends are playing while you're playing on PC," and you're like, "Okay, cool. I don't why."
Like, great.
But
Yeah.
it's the nice part about this is, and we've experienced this while we were playing like Modern Warfare, trying to play with people on a different platform, or I guess it wasn't Modern Warfare, it was Cold War, because we were trying to play with our buddy
Yes.
Lawyer Craig while he was playing on
Lawyer
Xbox
Craig.
and we were playing on PlayStation, and the party system for crossplay is still
Fucking
spotty.
brutal.
It's terrible, especially in Call of Duty, but it's also bad in other games. And so having this party system where and that was actually what we fought the most, was talking to each other, which we were playing, like zombies or something. So you want to be able to communicate. And that was the biggest issue, was just trying to get it to where everybody could hear everyone. Like you would have to make
Yes.
sure one person was the leader and then go from there. And if that didn't work, you had to switch who the leader was or back out and join back in
Oh my
like
God.
18 times. And all of a sudden it would work.
Yes.
So if PlayStation adds Discord as well, or Discord voice chat specifically, that helps solve a ton of the issues of crossplay at this moment, where now you can seamlessly talk to people on PC, you can talk to people on Xbox, you can talk to people on PlayStation, and like you were saying with the Xbox app, it works fairly well on PC. I mean, I played last night with Lawyer Craig, and he was playing on his Xbox,
Craig.
and I was playing on the PC, and I just used Xbox voice chat or party chat on my PC, and it worked well. I didn't have any issues. I connected just fine. It's cool. So it's not necessarily something that was super vital for PC to Xbox, but it is going to be something going forward that could bridge that gap. And as the title here says, unite gamers. But obviously, that's not going to happen. There's still going to be childish console wars. But regardless, there's at least this chance that now we can have people playing across the board on different consoles or PC and be able to chat with each other, even if they're just playing something else, right? Like you could play a single player game and just be bullshitting with your friends on PC and your friends on Xbox and
Yeah.
hopefully eventually on
Yep.
PlayStation. So I'm excited for this. This is awesome. And
I'm excited for you to be bugged by Nick all the time jumping into your chat on Xbox.
that's just every day, right?
Nick, hey friend.
Hi, friend.
Hi friend.
No. Sorry, Nick. I know you're probably watching or will listen later.
I love you.
Love you.
We love you, Nick.
Yeah. You want his with the next one?
Yeah, sure. So some Ubisoft news here. We got some delays, my dude. So Avatar Frontiers of Pandora is delayed to late 2023 or early 2024, so probably early 2024. And then one other smaller premium title as well has been delayed. So I think, yes, it was us. Was it last week that we were all on Discord, or a couple days ago we were all on Discord and we were talking about, no, it's Monday. It's Monday. We were on Discord and we were talking about Avatar. Not the game, but just like the actual like franchise. And we were shitting about it, and I was kind of shitting on it because I don't think it's great. I think it's pretty bad. But yeah, this is delayed now, which kind of fucks things up because the movie comes out in October, right? Am I wrong on that?
I think that's right.
Okay, so now this is now this is way delayed. And now it's gonna have to come out by its due date on a year where I think if it came out early 2024, it would hit the next Pandora, because I think what they're doing is they're like basically they've, from my understanding, made most of them already, and then they're just going to like sequentially set them out like year after year, because there's another 3 or 4 I think in the books right now. So not great for trying to sell a game based on a movie, but also, might I add, video games based on movies are usually horrendous as well. So we'll have to see. But it's also Ubisoft that's making it. Like, I had zero fucking hype for this game, dude. Zero fucking hype. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't give two shits about Avatar.
I don't remember. Was it Nick that was really excited about it when they showed it off? Because we were watching it live, or maybe it was Evan. Was it Nick or Evan? One of the two. We were watching it live when they kind of premiered it, and somebody was like, "Oh, it looks great."
Evan seemed pretty jived about new Pandora films, but I could be wrong. Who knows? Who knows, my man? I don't know. I'm not about Avatar. I think it's a terrible film.
Comes out
December. I think it only
December 16th.
December? Yeah. Okay. So there'd be a year off right now after the launch of that film at their earliest delay.
Year and a half, deadline. I would say, if they're already saying 2023 or 2024.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll get it holiday 2024.
2024.
It may be out by the time the next movie's done.
Yeah, the third one.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's that much hype for this thing. Like, Avatar's a franchise. I feel like what's going to happen is this is going to come out. I don't think it's nearly going to be as popular as the first Avatar. And the reason we talked about the first Avatar, my hypothesis on that is basically it was incredible CGI, which the CGI is just like standard CGI now going forward. And then on top of that, back then it was, when did the first one come out? Google it.
Ooh, yeah, I'll
Bro, it was like 2011 or 10 or something like that, right? Or 9, something like that. And then the other big hype from it too. What?
2009.
2009, sweet. The other reason for the hype of it and why it did so well too is I firmly believe because it was the first like true 3D film that was actually made that wasn't like red and blue 3D, that was like proper real 3D movie theater screen stuff. So I think people are going to go to this film, the second one, and kind of be like, oh, okay. And then they're going to leave it. I don't think it's going to be like a huge hit. I think it'll be a good, like a solid rating, but I don't think a lot of people are going to flock to theaters for it. And then this game, I don't think is going to do very well at all. I think it's going to kind of die. I wouldn't be surprised if the game gets canceled.
I don't think it'll get canceled. I think there's, I think because originally it was supposed
to a year and a half delay.
Yeah, but they're also probably what, 3.5 years into development. I mean, it's not
I guess
uncommon
I just
for games to get canceled while they're in development, but I
this is a
imagine.
live service game, right?
I think so.
From my understanding, it's
Not
like a
sure.
MMORPG. But I mean, I could be wrong. But if that's the case and it's a live service game like that, I just I don't know if they'd really want to mess around with that. I think they'd wait for the movie to come out, see what things are going, see if people give a shit. And if they don't, I think they'd axe it. They could always use the technology, the assets, and other stuff into another game down the road. I mean,
It's a first-person action adventure game.
okay, all right, so it's not MMO.
It's a new standalone story. Yeah,
You know, maybe it will
just a
do well. I
single
don't
player
know.
game. It looks like probably
I just have
in the
I just don't know
vein
anyone who
of.
has a connection to the character itself with an avatar. To Navi's, perhaps, but to
Well,
the
this is a
actual
different
main character of it,
Navi. Yeah,
who
this
gives
is
a
a
shit?
whole like spin-off essentially. But
Oh
the
god.
the thing for me, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there. Of just it's it's nostalgia. I think people are looking at it through rose-colored glasses because it is this thing that at the time it was revolutionary, right? It was this big deal to go see a proper 3D movie and actually be sitting there and be like,
Yes.
"Holy shit, the waterfall looks incredible!" This and that, and that's why I.
Which nowadays it's like nobody wants to go see the 3D ones because it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and I wholeheartedly agree. But I mean, that's why I went and watched it the first time. I didn't give a shit about the
Same.
actual movie. I was like, this is just
I know.
cool.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that are excited for it. So I think this next movie will do well, but I don't think it's gonna hold. Like I think a lot of people are gonna go see it just because they have that nostalgia
Just to
for
see
it.
it.
And then
Yes.
after that, I
Agreed.
think it's gonna dwindle a little bit. And I think by the time you
Totally
get to
agree.
the third movie and also this game, I don't think anybody's gonna care, or at least not a lot. I mean, that's just my
No.
maybe that's just me. I
No,
don't
man.
I don't see it.
Perfect example. A perfect example is so at Disney World at Animal Kingdom, they built Pandora, the World of Avatar.
Yeah.
Okay, which is like a whole like immersive land area or whatever, right? And I watched numerous people go to that when it launched, and it launched, God, 5 years ago, 3 or 5 years ago, something like that. It's been out there. So it came out when arguably there still wasn't a real big I mean, Avatar again, 2009. That's a long ways away. Um, and I remember opening day, people went there, and to this day, people kind of just go there to ride a ride. They go, "That's kind of neat." I vaguely remember this film, but I've never watched it again for the second or third time.
Yeah.
Or you hear comments like, "Oh yeah, Avatar, I remember seeing that," and then that's it. And the gamble for Disney is that obviously the second one comes out, it rejuvenates things. People are stoked about it. They want to go see Pandora, and tickets go up. And I just don't think that it's going to happen. I mean, that I think the whole reason, just like the video game, might work to some level, and a second film might work to some level beyond nostalgia, and why the theme park works to some extent as well is just because it's a pretty basic fucking story.
Yeah.
Like you have Pandora on it on the name of this land at Disney World, but you could feasibly just call it like conservation, whatever, something. And you would basically be able to get the gist of the storyline that there is a species of animal that is having a good time in their homeland area, and then humans come in and basically try to mine shit, destroy stuff, all that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like it's a generalized concept that I think can relate in some fashion, but for a fucking fact, even if it's a spin-off, this action adventure game is just I was expecting more of an MMORPG. I thought that would be cooler than an action adventure. Like I don't give a fuck now about this game.
Yeah.
I do not want to be ripping around in the forest as a Navi
No.
that I don't know of from the film or recognize from the second one or whatever. And I'm just doing my own thing. Like I couldn't care less.
I wholeheartedly agree. When they first showed it off, it did kind of have that MMO vibe where it's like they were all riding
Yeah.
around on the fucking pterodactyls and shit. And but yeah, without that, I just truly don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it
Uh,
is what it is.
to continue on with this, because I got hung up on Avatar pretty good. So, quickly, the one other smaller premium title that got delayed, we don't have obviously a possible launch date for that. What do you
Or
think the
even a
smaller premium
title.
title was? Yeah, what do you think it was
I have no
or
clue.
is?
I
I
kind
think
of
it's like another one of those Go games.
I wouldn't think that would be considered a premium title though. That's
I only think it would be because they would choose like a different like Division Go, or they would choose like a whole like slew of them and put them together in something.
see when they say
That's
premium
it.
title, I
They say
think
smaller.
yeah, when they say premium, I guess I just think more of like a triple A game of some sort, maybe. But I don't know what it would be at this point, unless it
See,
was like an Assassin's Creed spinoff. But the Go games are made by Square
yeah.
anyway. Or well,
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
no, I guess didn't Ubisoft buy this? Was it Ubisoft that bought the studio from Square that made the Go games? So maybe you're right.
I
They
believe
so
so.
or
See,
no?
when I hear premium,
Oh, it was
I
Embracer.
think yeah, it's Embracer Group. You're right. When I hear premium, I think top tier IP, and I hear smaller, I think VR, mobile, or that's it. Like I don't think you get. Maybe it's a mobile game. I don't know. Maybe it's a fucking mobile rabbits game or something like that. Good God, who knows? Anyways, moving on to canceled games from Ubisoft news. A Splinter Cell VR title has been canceled. While the VR title has been delayed, the remake of the original game is still in the works, though. So that's kind of cool. The VR title, though, I gotta say, like Splinter Cell, probably would have been pretty cool. But you know what I also was thinking the other day as well with this? How neat would it be if you're ripping around as Sam, right? You're doing your shit, and then you need your night goggles, and you can play the game normal, or you can put on your VR headset for your night goggles when the time comes.
I think it'd be cool, but pretty gimmicky, to where
I
like
think it'd be
people who
gimmicky
don't.
to change the mechanics.
I would feel like people that don't have VR would be kind of pissed off about it, and I mean now it's
Yeah,
more common, but you still have to have a special adapter for the PS5 in order to do it, and
I know.
it's not.
It'd just be so cool
Yeah,
though if they did like a standalone for like even just Oculus Quest, for example, and like you could play the game normally, and then it like pair it up or something like that. Where if you're like, cool, I want to put my night vision on, put that bad boy on, and then you can start looking around or something. I don't know. I
if
just thought that'd be kind of neat, but
if I remember correctly, this Splinter Cell VR title was also funded by Meta. I think it was supposed to
really,
be solely for yeah, it's Oculus, right? That Meta owns.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oculus. Well, no, it's not Oculus anymore. Now it's
Well,
just Meta
now
Quest,
it's MetaQuest, right? But
which is
Oculus.
ridiculous that they would get rid of that
Yeah.
brand. Yeah, no, I see your point. The other canceled game was Ghost Recon Frontline. It's supposed to be a free to play battle royale game. Um,
I'm okay with that game
thank
canceled.
God, I'm okay with that game canceled.
Doesn't break my
Then
heart.
there's two unannounced games that were canceled, which is kind of interesting. Like, why even announce that?
Yeah.
And then they also announced that they will be showing off the future of Assassin's Creed this September, which just means another Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah.
So,
I am
which I don't know what the future is. Maybe it's going to be when they imply future. I hear two things. I either hear something based in the future now because they've hit a lot of the past, or it is an entirely different take on the game where perhaps now this is where it enters the RPG MMO space, perhaps.
I hope it's some sort of change to that franchise because I am
Like
always
gameplay wise, like just entire genre
yeah,
wise.
kind of like Origins was, right? So they had Origins,
Mm-hmm.
Odyssey, and now Valhalla that are kind of in their own little space as far as, Assassin's Creed games go.
Yeah.
But I do hope they're making some sort of a change just because these games always sound so interesting to me. And granted, I have a long history with this franchise, so I enjoy, or I used to enjoy these games a lot, but I'm just so burnt out on them. Like Valhalla, I think I ended up putting like 20 hours into it, and I stopped caring. I want something new to actually catch my attention in these games because I just don't have the patience to go around and collect everything and this and that. And I'm over the giant open world collectathon that they've kind of
Mm-hmm.
become at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I
I
hope they do
agree.
something new, and I hope they pick a cool setting too. I mean, each time they do a different setting that's usually pretty unique, and I've liked a lot of the settings that they've done, right? Especially, Odyssey being in that,
Egypt.
yeah, and Origins in Egypt, Odyssey in that like that Spartan time period, right? And having the whole like Leonidas being your dad or uncle or grandpa. I don't fucking remember.
What was the pirate one? Black Flag? Was that
Black Flag, yeah. That was
that was cool?
4. And then I think they've done a lot of cool stuff. And honestly, the Valhalla one really captured my attention at first because it was that Viking setting, and that was really neat to actually see. But yeah, in reality, while you're actually playing it, it gets boring quick. So I'm ready for something to take this and just make something fresh.
Something cool with like the Fallout 76 style.
Yeah, I think
Not not a great example, but
I get what
something
you're
different
saying
with a
though, right?
franchise where, yeah, like I mean, you could throw that place back into Egypt, for example, and you know, include some more multiplayer stuff to it. I agree with you. Like the whole, not that it's a gimmick, but the whole point of just like, okay, massive open place where, like what you said, it becomes a collectathon and it becomes a filler. It becomes so cookie cutter where it's like, okay, we're gonna hit the same shit. Now you're dressed up as a Viking. Now you're dressed up as a pirate. Now you're dressed up as a ancient Egyptian prince, um, and you just kind of digesting the same game
Yeah. And
often.
I think that's kind of what Ubisoft has been doing for a while now. I mean, they have something like,
Yeah,
Mario and Rabbids, which was a fresh new thing that worked exceptionally well for them. But they're things like the Ghost Recon games are kind of the same. I mean, Siege has still been doing exceptionally well for them, but yeah, you look at Wildlands and then Breakpoint, and you look at the Assassin's Creed games and all that, and it's just, I don't know, it's exhausting. It's like playing the same game over and over and over, and I don't know.
yep.
I'm kind of to the point I don't care much anymore.
Don't blame you, my man. Don't blame you. Okay, what's our next piece of news here? This is, you know what's wild? Can we just peel back the onion of Diggity for a second?
Yeah.
So Brody and I often, when we do this podcast, we do it every fucking week. So at a minimum, or most weeks, at a minimum, we're doing like 48 of these a year. All
Yeah.
right. And every time we do them, not every time, but sometimes within those 48, we're like, man, there's not a lot of news. Like, do we think we can, we want to provide people with the highest quality show possible in terms of brevity and like what we're discussing. But also sometimes we're like, oh my gosh, at this piece of news, can we really make sure that we can at least at a bare minimum get out to 45 minutes? Because that's kind of like our set bar of time where it's like this, we have to provide 45 minutes of content for somebody because we think that's a great starting number. And obviously an hour is perfect for us. And like we're almost there. And we're somehow able to do that with Avatar and with Assassin's Creed. And every time we're like, man, how can we do this? And it's not that we're trying to lengthen it out. We just generally are able to like be able to talk this shit. But I just wanted to pull back some of the fucking diggity onions.
Like
You know,
the time we talked about what was it, the Game Gear Mini for like an hour.
an hour, yes.
We don't typically try to rant about things. It just sometimes happens, and it's
It
fun to
works out.
do. But yeah, we never, like Jeff said, we're never trying to draw out content just for the sake of drawing it out. It just typically happens in some way, shape, or form, and
Yeah.
it's
You want to hit us with our last shit? Our
yeah.
last story here?
Yeah, so Atlas is continuing to be Atlas. So Atlas, as you may know, makes the Persona games and Shin Megami Tensei and a handful of other games as well. But most recently, Persona has been in the news quite a bit because it is coming to the Xbox and Switch and everything else. So most recently, which by that I mean today, Atlas had a FAQ up that was, covering a bunch of different questions that were asked, and one of them was, if I have the PS4 version of Persona 5 Royal, can I upgrade that to the to the PS5 version for free? And the answer is a big fat fucking no. So Persona 5 Royal will not be upgradable from the PS4 version to the PS5 version. If you want that PS5 version, you're going to have to purchase the game outright again for the low price tag of, I can't remember if this one was 60 or 70, but regardless, you're going to have to buy that fucking game again.
$70.
Yeah. The Persona 5 Royal, or the Persona 5 Royal PS5 version can be played at 60 FPS and includes the DLC for Royal. So you're not missing out on a ton. This is a turn-based game most of the time, or at least for battles. Everything else, you're just in an overworld at 30 FPS. You're not struggling.
It's also not like incredible graphic style that would cause a mass difference,
right,
between the two in terms of its styling. But I mean, I think the argument on these things sometimes is, I think some games require a lot of work.
Yeah.
To get to that PS5 version, I think some don't.
I can't imagine
and
this would have been
different ways of doing it. I can't imagine it'd be too difficult, but we don't know, right? Like, I mean, maybe their engine and everything, the way it's built out, like, this is a complete, rewrite out. And like, if that's the case, they need to make money on that.
This game originally came out on the PS3 and then was ported to the PS4 as Persona 5 again, and then was and then came out as Persona 5 Royal, and now is being updated again to another version. So it is possible that there are people out there that have already purchased this game 3 times and maybe purchase it for a 4th time.
But I mean, like, the same shit goes with Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, and I've been plenty salty about that one.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the same thing is, what took them so long?
Right. Yeah.
Like, there's definitely technical things there. They're not sitting on it there.
No.
If they really wanted to, they would have launched day one with that.
Yeah.
Going to next gen.
Yeah.
But they didn't. So I don't know. I feel like there's probably some technical stuff there where they have to make money. Their business, so they need to make money on something.
But
I don't think full price is fair.
No. So Persona 5 Royal comes with all of the DLC that came with the original game, and then Persona 5 Royal also got DLC after the fact that added some cosmetic stuff and a few other things. I can't remember exactly what all was in there. If you were to purchase that DLC or all of the DLC that is available for Persona 5 Royal, I believe it is around $60. So there's that as well, just for the DLC aspect of it. And then again, I'm also not a big frame rate guy most of the time. Like, I don't have to have 120 FPS all the time. I'm perfectly okay with 60, and most of the time I'm perfectly okay with 30. It's not that big of a deal to me personally. I know there's some people that are hardcore into that. This is not a game that strikes me as as needing 60 FPS. I mean, something like Spider-Man.
Not a racing game.
Yeah, something like Spider-Man where you're swinging around the city, like switching between performance and what was it, high quality mode or whatever the hell it was. Fidelity, high fidelity. That was kind of cool to see the difference in the FPS. The higher FPS almost made me nauseous, though, once you started playing it, because I spent so much time in that game at, capped at 30 or whatever it was. And so then jumping up to that 60 FPS was weird. Like, it didn't feel right to me. But again, I spent a lot of time in that game and a lot of time in Miles Morales and switching back and forth and all this and that. So, I don't know. I don't think it's unfair, but I also think they should have had a slightly cheaper upgrade path, maybe, rather than having to just completely buy the game outright. Like, if you want the next version, pay $30. You know, go the Ghost of Tsushima route where it is.
Well, what was Grand Theft Auto? Was it like $20, 1999 or
I
something
think
like that?
so, and I think it was.
Like that's fine. I think that's absolutely fine.
And there was even like an early adopter version that was like $10 or something,
10
right?
bucks, yeah, 15, I think, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah. So, and Ghost of Tsushima did the same thing. They brought out a DLC, and then they had, if you bought that DLC or the director's cut, I think is what it was. It included the DLC and also the next gen version, and it was, you know, a
sure.
reasonable price. I think something like that is nice. I think that is the way to do it and at the time I think I was even kind of pissed off about it, I think. But now looking back at it and seeing how other companies are handling this going forward, I think Sucker Punch handled that exceptionally well and did a good job at, you know, providing a good amount of content and also that upgrade and kind of rolling it all into one, and it was a price that made sense. But I don't. Yeah, this one kind of sucks. And then the other part of this that sucks is only the PS5 and Switch are getting physical versions of this game. Xbox version of this game will only be digital. So that's just a bizarre why type of thing, but I don't know. The green clashes too much with the heavy, you know, red, white, and black that they have on all their covers and everything. I don't know. It's bizarre, but I don't know. It's Atlas being Atlas. A lot of people are fucking pissed off about it. I'm just not gonna purchase it. It's not that big of a deal. I'm just not gonna get the PS5 version. I have the PS4 version, and hell,
You've also put a ton of time into Persona.
yeah, I had 200 hours in that game by the time I finished it, which is excessive. Don't get me wrong. But most people can complete it and 100% it in much less time than that. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time in the game, but I don't.
Clearly.
Yeah, clearly. I also don't have any drive to go back and play through it again right now. I mean, maybe in a few years. And it's one of my favorite games of all time. Like, if we did an updated list of our top 5 games of all time, this would definitely fall in there. And it didn't at the time because I hadn't completed it. So my list has gotten shaken up, but I also, like I said, I don't want to go back and put 200 more hours into this game because I got a lot of other shit I want to play, and I know how this ends. And once the story's...
I got shit to do.
Yeah, once the story's finished, I don't need to experience it again. And that's one of the few times I've actually been invested into a story in a game. I mean, it doesn't happen much anymore because my attention span is that of a squirrel. But
that's pretty. I think that's lengthier than most.
Yeah.
I think most are goldfish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Goldfish only have a memory for like 3 seconds. Just throwing that out there.
Let's see.
It can't be much.
Let's see. Memory span of the goldfish. Oh my God. The goldfish can recall memories for at least 1 month.
What? Well, then I read a bad Google search at some point.
Okay, now let's see squirrel.
I can't even remember a month back.
Squirrels have a 2-year memory.
What? Oh, well, never mind then.
That's crazy.
That
we
is
need
crazy.
To give more. Okay, cats, 16 hours.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So they love you one day and then bite the shit out of you the next day.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
But with that, I think we're pretty well done here. I mean, we hit our 45 minutes almost perfectly on the fucking dot, just by pure happenstance. But yeah, thank you guys. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was going to mention one thing.
Yeah.
Just because at the start we didn't. Definitely check out Spawn Camp on YouTube. We've got some great stuff going on. We've got Bill Bros, which is all Gunpla stuff. We've got WSD and Beyond, which is like pop culture as well as PC gaming, and other general video game as well. And then we've got us, obviously. And then there's been some Let's Plays that have went up, both from individual people. There's been some group plays going up. It's been fantastic. It's been a good time.
Featuring a lot of the community as well. And
exactly. Yes. This is brilliant. exactly. Something I think unique to us for sure is the fact that in this Discord, we go and play games. We play games with our community,
Mm-hmm.
which is fantastic. And in that as well, our community gets to be in some of those videos. So it is really unique. Um, and I think something that not a lot of other people are doing. And if they are doing it, they're charging money for it, which we think is not right. So
No, no,
we definitely want to just have fun.
yeah, we just want to build a cool community and hang out and play games together, and it's like Jeff said, entirely free. We just come in there and hang out, and as long as you aren't a shitbag, you can stay.
There you go.
But yeah, after I completely butchered the intro for whatever reason today, my brain was just in a million different places. Let's nail this outro here. So as Jeff said, jump into the YouTube, check out the Build Bros. They're doing Gunpla and anime stuff. They have 2 new members as well, so definitely keep an eye on them and check out their new content and see the differences and how the community has actually stepped up to join part of Build Bros and really prop them up and do a good job there. We also have WASD, who they typically focus on kind of more pop culture and PC gaming. OBO is going to be making a return on the 1st of August, which should be great. And the first episode is going to feature Jeff, Nick, Evan, and myself. And so that is going to be fun.
Jeez,
and
baby.
I'm so excited to bring that back. We're going to be doing that pretty much once a month. So the beginning of each month, you can expect a new OBO episode, and we look forward to that. And, of course, you can find Diggity and the Let's Plays that we've done with the community and the rest of Spawn Camp. And as Jeff said earlier as well, the Discord link is in the description on all of these videos, and you can find it on any video. We copy and paste it to every single one to make sure that it's getting out there. You can also find links to it throughout our Twitter. I don't know if we have it on the website yet. I need to check into that.
Do we have it in the audio version of the podcast as well, in the show notes?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yep, it's in the show notes on the audio version. It's in the description on the YouTube video. I don't believe it's on Twitch, but that's okay. If you cannot find it for whatever reason, you message us and we will get it to you.
We'll hand deliver that to you.
We will
hand
mail
deliver
you
a piece of paper with that link on it.
And then you have to painstakingly put it into your computer to find it, and yeah, it'll be great. It's gonna be a good time. But thank you guys so much for listening. We will be back next week with all of the gaming news for next week. And with that, see you next time.